till it got to the level where you had to leave Nigeria for the first time?
Nigeria. Yes, I said I was born in England, and I came to Nigeria when I was about 3 years old. I went to school in Ibadan, Ilesha, and Lagos, especially at King's College, Lagos. My first real interest in music was about the age of 6. And people were beating drums around in Ilesha, and I went and picked on a wooden flute, and I was making enough noise to drive everybody crazy.
Fantastic.
So when I got to King's College, Lagos, and there were lots of musical instruments around, we had common rooms with pianos. I would fiddle with the piano, but I just managed to find some guitars to play, and I fell in love with playing rock music and bits of jazz, from Hendrix to name it, to waifu. So I picked the guitar up, and I also played piano. I did some school shows, and from King's College I went to International School Ibadan, where we had a lot of foreigners there. We had Americans, we had Syrians, we had Israelis at the international school, and I was exposed to more foreign music. I was exposed to like rock, very serious psychedelic music from Europe, and of course that was the time of James Brown.
Oh yes.
And, it was also the time of Fela and the Kulalo Beatles.
Yeah.
So growing up, I listened to all this music, and I also, of course, went to all the festivals that were. So my exposure to music in Nigeria was more of, at that time, it was more like a hobby. You know, I was going to be a mathematician and maybe even a great engineer, or possibly a lawyer. See, my dad was a politician in the First Republic.
Absolutely.
And he was, an attorney general in the West until the military overthrew the civilian government.
Yeah.
And he wanted practically all his children. There were 17 of us. I was number 5. He wanted us all to become lawyers.
So you wanted 17 lawyers?
He wanted 17 lawyers, male and female.
Our dads in those days. But who are you to challenge them?
Who are you to challenge them? But I just was maybe the first one he called the rebel, who decided that he wasn't going to be a lawyer, and instead he was going to follow the arts and music as a profession. So all this blossomed when I was at Harvard. I then moved from Nigeria at the age of 18 when I finished my A-levels at International School Ibadan.
That's right.
I moved to Washington, D.C. at the age of 18, and I started in university. But at that time, I was also forming a band with musicians from Ghana. They used to be in a band called El Polos. That band was called Oja, and we played around. We were doing our own American version, what you call Osibisa and Fela, but with rock. So when Hugh Masekela got to hear this band, he thought, oh, this was the best African band in the US. And the band ended up touring with him for like 4 years, including
all over the world. Oh yeah,
and and all the top Ghanaian musicians. But my dad will still have his last stay. As soon as he heard his son was doing music, before I knew it, within 48 hours he was in Washington. You see, his office was on top of the American embassy in Lagos. And so the threat was that if I had to do that law and or something or the other. So I had to give up being in that band, and I chose instead to go and study music. I went to Berklee College of Music in Boston, and I finally finished with a degree in filmmaking and music at Howard University in Washington. That's how I...
We're talking real Howard here. Yeah? We're talking real Howard here.
Real Howard University in Washington.
Fantastic. That's
so, and then it was only after that then I could go back to my musical profession.
Now, when you first left, you did, all you did in Lagos was just fiddle with a little bit of instrument, and then in school was where you really had a peace of mind. You had time to actually do music properly to your satisfaction, because you will never be able to do it at home. Dad won't let you do it. So when you now
probably break the guitar
on someone's head. So when you finished, you went to
International School Ibadan.
to ICI Ibadan, which where you now met people from different musical background, and you learned a lot more. I'm sure in that 1 or 2 years you must have learned a lot more about music.
Yes, I did.
Than probably you ever did, because that was the first time you were exposed to music from all over the world. And then from there you went to the States. And was this your first stint at the States? Was very well known, but a lot of people probably don't even know that Heatwave was a British group. Mind-blowing decisions. They and always and forever, they're a British group, but they were well known universally as well. You worked with? Did you work with?
I worked with Roy Carter. He was the guitarist and keyboard player in Heatwave. And we produced a few hit singles in the UK. But
Okay.
that was a different type of music. It wasn't African music. It was just dance music for the UK charts.
Okay.
And one of the hits was I'm a Winner by CoverGirl.
Okay, I remember that. Yeah, so when, after your first stint in the US, you crossed over to the United Kingdom.
Continents. Europe, I was born in London. US of A. And Nigeria. So it was easy for me to move from A to B.
That's right.
And after university, I came to London and decided I was going to
settle here for a while.
Settle here for a while and try my arms on music. Where we were in Peckham. If anybody remembers the anti-apartheid festivals at Burgess Park.
Oh yeah.
Right out around the corner here. I used to produce those events.
Oh.
The last one I did was Barista was headlining.
Wow.
Anybody remember
I came to that show. Yes, I came to that show.
I did do a bit of dabbling in music promotion.
Oh, brilliant.
But okay, while I was in London, I also built a 24-track studio, and I was running an independent record label, Chameleon. This was at Ventura House. And I was trying my best, on Acre Lane.
Yeah,
I was trying my best to promote and record African musicians based in London. We did Mick Joe, Big Musica. We did Adeshose Ibile. We did my first CD, Jalolo. And we also did a recording by Nkono Tellers.
Oh,
those were the 4 albums that came out of that studio.
Okay, good thing you worked with Nkono Tellers. Yes. I mean, that's a Cameroon. That's another guy that is a wizard, and he's a fantastic producer, good keyboard player. So yeah, I didn't even know you worked with Nkono Tellers. Now, in London, you did some shows. Did you do a lot of live shows? Because I was on one of your shows, but I want to tell us about some of these shows.
He was at the Africa Center show. The Africa Center shows were like the starting up phase.
Yeah.
In England, I would say, oh boy, we did a show with Jules Holland at University of Bristol. We did many other universities.
The jazz guy.
Combining in my own unique way. That's how I come up with that music. And the Americans love it. And slowly, I find that I'm being called back to London to come and, since it's been accepted on the other side of the ocean, I'm here again to reintroduce this music. I think I was ahead of my time. I remember somebody saying, Toby, your music may be 20 years ahead of its time.
Absolutely. I share that view as well. And I personally can speak for myself, but I'm sure a lot of people in London will be glad to have you back. Because when you were in London, you were well known. You played everywhere. You played the length and breadth of the United Kingdom. But obviously, America beckoned, and you had obviously more wider audience in the States. And we'll now go to your second spell in the States, and you please tell us how you've done in the States. I mean, you're still based there now, but we're trying to pull strings. We're trying to get you back here. So tell us about how the second stint in the States went for you, sir.
Okay, I took my Jalolo CD to the States. I had only 10 copies of Jalolo. And we sent out some of these CDs to various venues. And I believe that out of 10 CDs I had 8 good gigs. Kennedy Center, Montreal Jazz Festival.
Wow.
And I was quite shocked that, you know, the CD I've been carrying around in London for like 7 years was suddenly bang, people were jumping at it. And based on the what happened from Montreal Jazz Festival, it led me to 17 jazz festivals. The Montreal Jazz Festival led me to Vancouver. I did most of the jazz festivals in Canada. The Toronto one I even did 3 times.
Yeah.
And it took me all the way to the Caribbean. From when you do a good gig, another one beckons. So
Yeah, the word spreads.
The word spreads. And the same CD...
They tend to underestimate it, but the Japanese are some of the best music listeners. When they take to you, they take to you. I mean, Fela's music does very, very well there. So I can understand how your music is doing very well in Japan. And you need to see that when we go to HMV in Western to buy records and CDs, in the days when we use CDs, they'll stack records that high, and they're all African music. One person. CDs that high, sorry. And they're all African music, one person. So they're really good with their music. May I allow you to continue, sir?
Okay. So we went to Japan, we blew them out. We came back to the US, we also blew them down. What was much more strange for me particularly was I was the main African band in the US that went to do most of the Jamaican festivals. You know, I was Curaçao Jazz Festival, Jamaica, Ocho Rios Jazz Festival, Grenada Jazz Festival, Bahamas Jazz Festival. You know, we were always like every summer going to the Caribbean. So it was like we were always going on a holiday and getting paid to go on holiday.
Oh yeah.
You know, you go out in the sun, you go to Don River Falls, and it was great. You know, the seas all blue, and you eat bananas that taste like proper bananas, and pawpaw and pineapple and mangoes. So it was like being back home in Lagos. And then I remember telling this Jamaican guy, "You guys speak different, but man, this is exactly how I will be treated like in Lagos."
Absolutely, you know.
Because the guy, he was clever. He knew how to make me buy something out of my pocket, whether I had
look after it. Yeah. So that was fantastic. I mean, did it ever occur to you that, you know what, I want to settle finally in America, or you're still contemplating? I know that you're still very much in demand in the States and it makes a lot of money for you. Or are you thinking of splitting yourself, spending some time in the States and spending some time here?
I actually would like to see Europe, because I'm thinking, I feel I've done a lot in the US and I need to put a bit more attention.
Spread your tentacles a bit more.
UK,
yeah.
And to Europe.
And even the Caribbean.
The Caribbean.
Yeah, and even the Caribbean. Right. So in the States, I know that you've dabbled into production. You're a good, accomplished producer. Have you got a recording studio of your own look out for? I know you've got something out at the moment. Can you tell us about your CD?
Okay, this CD is called Lagos Ilueko. It shows my feeling of all the things I would have experienced if I was living in Lagos. For instance, on Saturday nights, you would hear high life.
Yeah.
Not the pop music, but high life.
Proper high life.
When we were at King's College, you could hear Sangros Market.
Yes.
And behind us was the high life groups were playing. So
yes. And campus is not too far away.
There's on the CD, there's a song called Riot in Lagos. But I know there hasn't been recently a riot in Lagos, but this was at the time of the Agbekoyas.
Agbekoyas, yeah.
So that would be a riot in Lagos when the Agbekoyas were giving the military a hard time. There's Afrobeat jazz, which, you know, is, and then there's Elere. Elere is a song about musicians, because Elere itself means people who are playing, but really a musician who is actually, it's a very, very serious is very, very serious because the musician is like the griot.
Yeah,
tells
hardworking.
the story of our tradition, and it's not just somebody who's having fun. You know,
Oh yeah,
you need
hard
to take
work. A lot of hard work
a lot
involved
of
in
hard
music.
work.
Yeah.
And then Lagos Ilu Co has a beautiful cover, a painting by one of the outstanding Nigerian painters, Hassan Aliyu, who's actually based in London.
Oh.
And you can see it's very vibrant.
Oh yeah,
I
that's
think
fantastic.
it's important to be able to show our culture. It's a painting of Lagos from around Tinubu Square with lots of taxis. You can see the taxis, you can see somebody on Okada, you can see buses and everything.
That's proper Salinko,
Right, yes.
Lagos Island.
Lagos
Yeah.
Island.
Right, we're going to take a break shortly, and then when we come back, we're going to talk about what you've got going on, gigs that are coming up, and what people should expect in the future from you. We're going to also tell us about how your albums did, because I know you got into a few charts internationally with some of your records. So we're going to talk about that. We will take a. I wish I'd asked you to bring your guitar. You would have given us.
No, that would have been
I wish I'd asked you to bring it. You would have. So we'll take a break shortly. I'll ask my director to.
I'll be able to click onto something on YouTube.
Yeah, he'll do that. He'll do that for you in a minute. We're still live now.
Go, yeah. Go, yeah.
What up, my people? What's going on? It's your favorite boy, We're Scanner at BNZ. Shout out to Nigerian DJs UK. God bless you people. Keep on supporting my music. Keep playing the tunes. And I promise I won't disappoint. I keep giving you guys that hit. Bless you.
It's Nigerian DJs again. You already know what it is. It's your boy Dr. Sid, and y'all need to listen to the hottest coalition of DJs worldwide, Nigerian DJs UK style. Let go.
Go, yeah. Go, yeah. Go, yeah. Another man food is another man poison. Go, yeah. Monkey no fine, but in my mind like I'm. Go, oh yeah.
Sanctuary of Praise presents Paradise Praise, 6 hours of glory, powerful praise, prayer and special anointing for success, a service of miracle, signs and wonders. Saturday, 26th of August 2017. Time, 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. Ministry, Cleveland Choir, Orlando Voice, and many more anointed singers. Host, Apostle E.O. Argentina. Venue, Cleveland Sanctuary of Praise, 709 Old Bridge Road, London, SE15 1JZ. Tel 0207 358 9994. Don't miss this glorious moment. Step up, change has arrived. Cleveland, sharing vision of success with people of destiny.
Are you ready for God's divine visitation for divine increase? Join Pastor Wale Oladini as Clam Prayer Center UK presents a night of healing, salvation, deliverance and restoration tagged Anointing of Increase, Psalm 115 verse 14 on Friday the 25th of August 2017. Time is 10 p.m. to 4 a.m. Venue, Harrow Leisure Center, Christchurch Avenue, Harrow, HA3 5BD, London. Doors will be open at 8 p.m. For further inquiries, please call +44 7591 998 557 +44 7508 657 726 +234 803 303 3214 or visit our website on www.clamgo.org. Remember, the new venue for this program is Harrow Leisure Center, Christchurch Avenue, Harrow, HA3 5BD, London. Jesus is.
Welcome back, and It's been Rokstedi Time with DJ Jossy Ladd. We're still in the studio with our VIP guest, Mr. Toby Foyeh. And this is RT Television, as usual. We're doing a special program today for this gentleman here. Uncle, you told us that in your days when you were young and you just picked up instruments in the streets when you were 5 and 6, and this is how you started. While you were growing up learning this trade, did you have any mentors or inspirators? Was there anybody doing well in those days? You said to yourself, you know what? I think I'm actually good at this guitar. Tomorrow I want to be like this person or that person. Was there anyone in your mind that you saw as like an inspirator that you were looking up to?
There was Victor Weifel, Hendrix, of course, Wes Montgomery, George Benson.
Wow.
And I think those were the main ones. And of course, there was Miles Davis on the trumpet.
Oh yes, Mr. Miles Davis.
The music was great. It was mostly instrumentalists and jazz musicians. But then there was Fela.
Oh yeah, the man himself.
The man himself. His music went everywhere.
Yeah.
There was no way you could avoid it. And of course, I will not forget Haruna Ishola. And in fact, I think Ike Daro once played for my dad.
Yeah.
Because we're originally from Elisha, and Ike Daro was from Elisha. Yeah. Even Orlando Julius was from near Elisha.
Yes, definitely. I think Ike Daro.
Johnny Astrop too was from Elisha.
And I think Ike Daro, I might be wrong, it was one of the first Nigerians to be honored with an MBE. And also played for the Queen. I think they played for the Queen. When she was still a princess, I think. Or maybe when she was Queen and was very early. I was too young then, but I know he played for royalty. Both Nigerian and African and British royalty. Right. It's good to have such people as your inspirators. But I want to cast your mind back. After putting the band together in the States, when and where was the first time you actually performed as a professional musician? Say, oh, this is me now. Put my dreams away, put them apart. This is me now performing live for the first time as a professional musician.
I think the first show we did, that was in...
Because we want the viewers at home we want them to actually have a taste of your music. And your music is passed on, it encompasses so many genres, and it's passed on quite a couple of generations, if I may say, but the music still lives on. So we will take one of your tracks called Oremi. We'll try and show it to the audience, to our viewers, and it's going to be about a few minutes, and then we'll be back again. Mr. Toby Foyeh is still here. Rokstedi Time with DJ Jossy Ladd, special edition. And we have in the studio my producer, Mr. Thomas, and my uncle Niyi. And we have our queen in the studio as well. And we're all going to be dancing and enjoy your music. Take it away, Mr. T. Right. Welcome back, viewers. I know that you're still watching the video. You can hear us in the background. I've got Mr. Toby Foyeh. I want you to describe. You can see what you've got here in this video showing. Very good music being played by real people, not machines, and dancers. There's a lot of dancing and participation as well. I mean, this is what a concert should look like. What's your views on what concert was like in the days of people who really did concerts and what we call concert now, where we play backup CD and an artist just come and jump up and down for 5 minutes and they make millions?
Yes, I think people learned instruments. You took many years to learn the guitar, the talking drums, the keyboards. You learn to read music, and so that when the band actually performs, everybody's playing an instrument or singing
or dancing.
Or dancing. And when this music is recorded, you can come back in 100 years' time. It will still be great. Preaching the fact that young people in Nigeria need to learn instruments properly, like we did, study music, and then the same, just play what you hear and what you feel. Play it your own way, but play it on instruments. You know, have a proper band, backing a singer, and it's not necessary to use auto-tune in the studio. Let a singer sing properly, let the backing singer sing properly, and let us hear what you can actually do.
Yeah, proper music.
So that they can put you in concert anywhere in the world, and you can stand with any of the rock bands, you can stand with any of the jazz bands, you can stand with any band you compete with any band from any part of the world, and not just, singing on top of backing stage, because I think our music would only improve if it's played live.
Thank you very much. Just, that word should be enough for the wise. It's absolutely fantastic that our artists, especially young ones, are doing very well now. Don't get me wrong, I'm not having a go, but the art of music and singing is doing very well for Africa, because God knows where a lot of these guys, this youth will have been without Afrobeats, or what they call it, Afrobeat, African music. I call it Afro jams. I can't really call those Afrobeats because we can't hear the Afrobeats. We can't hear the drums. We can't hear the tom-tom. We can't hear the conga. We can't hear the talking drums. We can't hear the agogo. So that's that's why Afrobeats is a bit, in my own opinion. But then again, I'm old-fashioned. But what they're saying is some of these young guys need to learn to play proper instruments. Imagine what would happen if our generations don't teach their kids to play gong. Very soon we will run out of talking drummers. Talking drummers will become an endangered species. And then we need to make sure that we hand this thing over, learn how to play instruments, because instruments make music. Machines don't make music. Instruments make music. Right. We know that you're going to be, that's why we arrange this special edition. It's just a flying visit to the UK, and we know you're going to be going back to the States too. Excuse me. And we know that you're going to be very, very busy. You've got a lot of shows planned. Can you tell us some of the shows that are coming up so that your listeners in the States, and I know a lot of them are watching now, your supporters, your viewers, our viewers in the States can know where you are and they can try and make it to your concerts?
Okay, our next show is we're playing in Louisville, Kentucky. We're headlining the World Festival. It's on Sunday, September 3, Louisville, Kentucky World Music Festival, downtown Louisville, Kentucky.
Muhammad Ali's town.
Muhammad Ali's town. Actually, the museum next door is actually Muhammad Ali. And we actually played at this festival last year, the same Labor Day weekend, and they were blown out and decided they wanted us back again for a second looking in.
Fantastic.
And we usually get a crowd dancing there. The next show after that is Baldwin Wallace University. It's at Berea, Ohio, and it's the same week. It's on September 7th. And then the following show after that is on March, a Friday, March, I think it's 2nd or 3rd of March. We'll be back playing in London. Please look out for the event.
Okay, you're not going to let much out now. When you come back, we'll definitely make sure you come down to the studio and you tell us more about the event in March in London. and I'm sure, I mean, you're still with me there. I am a big fan. I cannot escape that. And Heritage Television will continue to support you in whatever way we can. And by the grace of God, I mean, you've done it all, but you will still do more. All right. Where do you see yourself in future? What does the future hold for you? You are Mr. Toby Foyeh. What does the future hold for Toby Foyeh?
The future is trying to get this music to as many more new audience as possible. I would love to do a good tour in Nigeria, a good tour in England and in Europe. I think my UK agent is working towards trying to get me to do shows in Manchester, in Colchester, and one other venue besides London, all in next 2018.
That'll be
I
fantastic.
hopefully have about 4 shows in 2018 in England.
Manchester's got a massive audience, and I'm sure you will not, even just in the past, any particular collaborations with anyone lately, either in the States, here in the UK, or in Nigeria? Recent ones.
Okay, recent ones. There's a singer who I very much like. Her name is Tolumide. I've been writing songs for her.
Good.
And she plays guitar and sings some of these songs. The same song you hear us playing, very, very electric or similar.
Okay.
We're developing what you call African pop music.
Absolutely.
The songs are in English and Yoruba, and she just sings them and plays an acoustic guitar. So it'll be like Jonah Matrading, but Nigerian style.
Oh, brilliant. Brilliant. And are you planning to work with other established artists in the future, especially in Nigeria? We would really, I'm sure Nigeria is really missing you. They would love you to do a collabo at least, or to come. You did say you would love to do a concert or a tour there. I mean, are you at some point going to pencil in African tour into your business schedule?
Yes. Oh yes. African tour, that's where the music started. It's got to go back.
Music has to go back home.
It has to go back home. We're just waiting to make sure that it's the right time, with good enough promotion, and working with the right promoters.
Yeah, the right people. That matters a lot, doesn't it? Really.
Right,
Well, I know you used to have a band. I don't know if do you still have your own band, or do you just or you don't just unpick? You have your own.
US, I still have my own band.
What's it called?
Orchestra Africa. Orchestra Africa. If you check Toby Foyeh in YouTube, you can see lots of clips of the group at various events we've done.
That's
There's
fantastic.
even one. We were playing somewhere in just July. In fact, it's in the last 4 or 5 weeks.
Yeah.
5 weeks. It was a week before I came here. And one of the audience recorded one of the new tracks we were playing, and he before I knew it, the same day was on YouTube. So we have to be worried a lot of social media. Because you don't want the music out yet and it's out.
Oh yeah, absolutely. That's right. I mean, that's the thing about social media. You just have to be. Social media is too smart for our life. I like it. Right. Can you just say again, please? If you want to see all the clips, or as many clips as possible, of Uncle Toby Foyeh and his group in action, Orchestra Africa. If you want to see them in action, where do they go again?
Just YouTube, type in Toby Foyeh, Foyeh, and you'll see the band's website, and you'll see many videos of the group and various types of music.
Thank you, sir. What about people who want to go directly to your website? Can you give them your website?
The website address is www.http://tobyfoyeh.com. TOBYFOYEH.
One word.
All
lowercase.com. Thank you, sir. All right. Before we go, we always ask people this question, the same old boring questions. What is your advice for young up-and-coming people who want to go into the music and the social entertainment industry, because it's not an easy industry to go into. They must be prepared to go into it. It is very tough. You've been through it, and it wasn't plain sailing all through from the beginning. I mean,
it's very difficult to make any money.
And
you must love it.
Yes,
you go into it not thinking to be rich. You go into it because you have a driving passion. You have something inside you that needs to come out. And most importantly, you need to study the music. Whether you study the traditional music and you study the Western way, you need to learn to read music. You need to play an instrument. And if it's your voice that you're working on, you do your skills, and but you need to stick with it, because you're going to have, you sometimes be prepared to be turned down 99 times out of 100. But that one time you get that opportunity, take advantage of it, because you don't know it can change your life. Because I played one festival and the rest was history.
Absolutely fantastic. Absolutely fantastic, sir. So it's been really nice having you here. Before we go, and if it is possible for my producer, we'll probably finish this with another track of yours. If it is possible, we're still working on that. You've got fans from all over the world, definitely, and your fan base is massive. We would like to say one or two things about your fans, because all along, yeah, you were the one championing the cause and going through the struggle, but all along your fans have followed you, and obviously you've carried them along, and you've done the journey together. If you'd like to say one or two things to your fans, please.
Thank you for coming to my shows. Thank you for staying with me through the difficult times and the great times. And please continue to listen to the music, and we will have some new music for you hopefully next year, definitely next year, because of the CDs in. And we're trying our best to improve the music of Africa, the music of Nigeria, the music of black people, and just stay with us, because it's very, very tough and long journey.
Thank you very much. We're going to be rounding off soon, but I'm just going to wait before we finish. Is there anything else you'd like to say to people out there?
Playing our music, it's a labor of love. It's a labor of love.
Yes, sir.
You must love what you're doing. You must love your culture.
Yes,
you must be prepared to face all kinds of obstacles. Sometimes you may not even be able to get paid properly for your music. But there are times you have to do, you know, when you start out and you haven't become a professional yet, you may have to do other types of jobs while waiting to get a band or get your music deal. But these days, because of the internet, you can market your music easily. But please do a good something that you're proud of.
Okay, so we would try, and I think we're going to be playing another track of yours called Rain. The Rain Dance, yeah? What inspired you to making this, that particular Rain Dance? I remember back home, we have dance for everything.
Okay, I'll say that. When I was young and I was living in Malaysia, anytime it's about to rain, we think we can go out and do this dance and shout, rain, rain, go away, and the rain's going to go away. And sometimes it worked, sometimes it didn't work. And then I had a drummer in my band who was in a Fasheg Majek's band. And every time they go and do Send Down the Rain, so I told him, look, Oscar, you do Send Down the Rain, we will stop the rain. So that's how we started doing Rain Dance, you know. It started off as an instrumental and we added all the other beats to it. Now it's a full song. There's more, when we do it live, it's 10 times more more interesting than even when it was recorded, because it started off as an instrumental, we just had the chorus, and then we added more words as we went along. We even had the Yoruba beat of the song, we don't run it in Africa.
Yes, sir. Yeah, thank you very much, sir. Before you go, we always put everybody on the spot. We wanted to say one or two things about Heritage Television, some words of encouragement if you may, and then once that is done, the Rain Dance video will come on, and then we will have to call it a day. So I might as well just tell you guys now that it's been absolutely wonderful. Thank you very much for watching again. special edition of Rokstedi Time, Heritage Television, and with Mr. Toby Foyeh. It's a great honor and privilege being with you, sir. Thank you very much. So say one or two things to your fans about us, and then we will phase it out with your music.
Well, they want me to say something. I'm actually going to talk about the personalities. I was shocked when I found out one of the directors was somebody called Nee. It's somebody that my family knows and I've known for years. You know, I'm really proud of him.
And he's here in the studio, but he's a very shy man.
Not just African heritage, but heritage all over the world.
Thank you very much, sir. We're very grateful. So waiting for my producer now. Bye, guys. See you next time.
Thank you.
You're welcome, sir.
Sanctuary of Praise presents Paradise Praise, 6 hours of glory, powerful praise, prayer and special anointing for success, a service of miracle, signs and wonders. Saturday, 26th of August 2017. Time, 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. Ministering, Cleveland Choir, Orlando Boys, and many more anointed singers. Host, Apostle EO Adjustment. Venue, Clearham Sanctuary.
Go, yeah. Go, yeah.
What up, my people? What's going on? It's your favorite boy, We're Scanner at BNZ. Shout out to Nigerian DJs UK. God bless you for keeping supporting my music. Keep playing the tunes, and I promise I won't disappoint. I keep giving you guys that hit.
Go, yeah. Go, yeah. Go, yeah. Another man food is another man poison. Go, yeah. Monkey no fine, but in my mind like I'm. Go, oh, yeah.